Hello and welcome to the Hairdresser Strong Show. My name is Robert Hughes and I'm your host. I'm here with Dominique DiBenedetto, who is a salon owner, educator, entrepreneur, and all around awesome hairdresser and inspiration. Today we're going to be talking about the wig industry and the wig business. Dominique went through a process of building up a wig business, and we're going to hear all about it. For those viewers and listeners who didn't listen to your previous episode, would you introduce yourself for us?
Hi, everyone. My name is Dominique DiBenedetto. I am a salon owner in South Florida. I also have a wig business, and I'm so excited to really dive in and talk to you guys about this and really get this out there because it is something so important. And us as hairstylists, and we really just need to get together and take care of this demographic. These people need our help, and I'm happy to share any light I can on it.
Awesome. So Dominique started she moved from, and correct me if I'm wrong as I give some of these details, started in a salon, moved to a suite, was in a suite for a few years, and then in 2019 moved into started a salon. Is that right? Yeah. So far? Yeah. And so right before, not long before COVID came along, and then during all the time from that point to now, you're expanding your business into a bigger space, and you started a wig business, which is going to be the main topic of our conversations today. And you also you're ramping up education, and you signed on with Redken. Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
I am signing on with Redken for 2022. Yes.
Awesome. All right, cool. So today, the topic is going to be about your wig business. Some of the things you said in the previous episode when you were just talking about how you got started, you preluded, or you discussed, you made some statements that imply that there's a bigger conversation here. So just from the perspective of hair loss being such a big industry that is largely untapped, or at least it seems to be so from the perspective of somebody who, as a stylist, I have people with hair loss issues, and I'm really at a loss. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how and why you got into the wig business?
So yeah, you're 100% spot on when you say that there is a huge gap for people who suffer from, androgenic hair loss, hereditary, hormonal, medical, whatever the case is. And the reason why I know this is because I am one of them. I am an award-winning colorist. I can throw in a head of extensions all day long. I can make anything out of nothing. But the one thing I can't do is put my own hair back on my own head. I've been to every doctor. I've had every blood work. I've been to specialists, and, to have the percentage of 80% being told to me that there's an 80% chance that my hair will not grow back from doing some of these treatments. And some of these treatments are extremely invasive.
Wow.
The only FDA approved hair loss solution right now is Rogaine or a hair transplant, which is very painful. And your hair does grow back, but in sprouts, it might not grow back the same. It's basically a skin graft, and it costs $10,000 to $25,000. There's other treatments out there that are astronomically expensive, laser caps, who else, whatever. But the average person is not going to be able to afford that for a 30% chance.
So I'm familiar with various types of supplements. Some seem to work better than others. Some seem to not really work at all. And then I know of the transplants, and I know about the cap with the laser in it. Actually know somebody who's he's trying that, and using nioxin and some sort of internal hair supplement.
Minoxidil. There's another skin medication out that dermatologists are now using to regrowth hair. It's actually a heart medicine, and spiralactin, that they found that grows hair, but in men. So I don't know why women would want to even mess with that. Right. There's minoxidil pills, there's minoxidil creams. All of those things are now, I mean, some of the things are off the cuff and they're using them for other reasons, that they're finding that there is hair growth from other medical things. But there is nothing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we've established that the hair loss, anybody suffering from hair loss, and as a professional, with their customers sitting in there, I feel so helpless. And I feel so sad, especially when it's a woman. When it's a dude, it's a little
Save it.
different,
Yeah.
but not all
Stick
dudes
it.
are the same. So like, but definitely when my women are seeing that they're losing their hair, it's just super sad. Like society for the most part has said that, women need to have hair, and
Right.
most, short hair is in too. But okay, so I think we understand like the basis. So you tell us a little bit about your journey into finding out, like discovering wigs, and like your own personal journey, and
So, to this day, it is still really, really hard to explain, or, like I have a wig on right now, which I totally love to show everybody. I mean, it looks so real. Like you
it
can't
does.
even,
I had
like,
no
I
idea.
mean, you had no idea, right? I
No.
mean, you can't. So, but I will tell you, when a woman suffers from hair loss and they even still wear a wig, taking the wig off is probably the most horrible feeling that you can get, because you're constantly reminded of what is under there. When the wig is on, you're like another person. Like I said to you before, like if I didn't have this or a topper or something like that, I probably wouldn't be doing this interview. I've been able to say yes to so many things in the past year because of this. Yes, on board. I mean, now, I mean, I'm on podcasts all the time. I'm getting my picture taken. I'm being myself on social media, which I never was in front of the camera. If you go to my Instagram and you scroll my social media, you can see exactly when that life change happened, because you didn't even know what I looked like before.
Right.
Because I just couldn't do it. Like nobody noticed it, but I noticed it. I used to wear a pixie haircut. Obviously we know as hairstylists, the shorter you go, the more thicker it looks. But that was not working anymore. The topic wasn't working. It was like literally just starting to like just not even stick to anything. I felt ugly, especially being in our business. I didn't even know how to be anymore. So the pandemic happened. I had a baby. More hair fell out. Awesome, right? So now we're shut down, which is okay at this point, because I'm like freaking out about what to do with this. So I started going in the deep, dark hole of Google, YouTube, and I wanted, I've always thought I wanted to have something, a wig. Extensions did not work for me because there was no system that would work up in here. You know what I mean? My thinning is on the top. Most women who are dealing with severe hair loss, it's not under here, it's up here. And I'm sure, as you guys have seen, like they'll come in, you start to see scalp, you decide to go a little darker, maybe you throw some highlights in the front to kind of just, they're always saying that they're seeing a scalp. We have the scalp powders and sprays. They're amazing, but eventually they stop working, especially if it's something that's progressive, or medicated anyway. So I started looking and I started ordering all these pieces online. Some of them were cheap, some of them were expensive. Between all of them, they were all horrific. Like I told you before, I don't understand how a normal consumer could pick this up out of a box and be able to walk out of the house without having it professionally touched. And as being a professional, I didn't even know what to do. Okay. So I started, doing some homework, playing with them. Then I decided to go to the hair store locally, and I started coloring them. They said they were human. So I'm like, why not? I'll color it. So I started putting roots on them, and that started to become a little bit more authentic. And I started to wear them around the house, and I still couldn't get past wearing it. Like the mental of being like, oh my God, I'm wearing a wig. Why is wig wearing taboo, but extension wearing isn't? Why is that an issue?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is extension wearing glorified? Why are their websites beautiful? Thousands, millions of dollars in marketing, halos and wefts and fusions and K-tips and tapes. But when it comes to this, we're seeing older marketing. We're seeing something that's not as sexy. And the word wig doesn't sound as pretty as extensions.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's probably an easier solution to solve, so there's more money being put behind it. Maybe, people aren't spending the time and money to solve the problem of like how to make wigs more accessible and more
Right, or
sexy.
how to make them prettier or look
Yeah,
or sound better.
yeah,
Because the thing is, as society is, we hear the word wig, we hear sick.
yeah. Or old.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm 37 and I do all the things. I do the Botox, I do all that. A I'm a fashion, I mean, I love makeup, I love dressing nice, and I want my hair to look good too, and so do your clients. But we know
Yeah.
sometimes we can't help them.
So you were going, you said you started going to the wig
Sorry, yeah, I
stores.
got sidetracked. I just passion. Anyways, so I go to the wig stores and I started wearing them, and people started saying how nice they looked, and I started putting them on my social media, like a
Okay.
little bit after we opened, right? Um, and I started coloring them, and people started messaging me like, "Hey, do you color wigs?" I'm like, "No," and then I'm like, "Wait a minute, yeah, I do. It's hair. I'll color it." So people started sending me their wigs from around the United States, and I started coloring them, and then I'd send them back. We'd have a
Nice.
consultation just like we're having right now, and
Yeah.
they'd show me a couple inspo pictures, send them to me via text message, and I'd go to the salon and color them, and then FedEx them back.
Awesome. I love that.
And I will tell you, doing that for somebody who's been going through this, and to see them actually like take a selfie with it and post it, like it's huge.
Yes, I totally can understand that.
It
So
made it.
how long was this going on before you were like, wait a minute, maybe I should do this for more people and make this whole thing official?
Pretty much like when I started coming out about it.
Okay.
So I
So
knew that the only way to like tell people about it or show people that it works is to be the product of your own product.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I had to become real raw and real with myself and show people what was going on. Like I hid it so well for so many years because I am a professional.
Right.
The one thing I got from people was when I actually showed my hair without any scalp powder, they're like, "Oh my God, I would have never known."
Mm.
Now I'm taking my wig off at the salon, showing people left and right. I'm like, try it on, try it on. You know what I mean? I had to get past that insecurity to show that it worked, because if I'm wearing it every day, then my people or my clients would have to know that it's working.
So so tell us a little bit about this like discovery process of like figuring out the which products to use and developing your supply chain. You had mentioned in the previous episode just really briefly that it's a world full of scams, and like what is the human hair world look like? Like I don't know anything about it. I just assume people donate their hair, and
Mm-mm.
people like how. Tell us about that. Like, help us understand like the underbelly.
So there's different degrees of human hair that are out there. We're used to, like the Remy, the extension hair, it's good hair, but I mean the wig hair is like on some other level. You know what I mean? There's European hair, there's Indian hair, there's Asian hair, there's um Vietnamese hair, there's Mongolian hair. Like the thing is they're all good, but it's just different grades. So where this hair comes from, you always like, my hair is responsibly sourced. And that's how, it's like with a company that, says where they source, you can see their factories, what's happening. And then there's some that are not. Um, they say that it's human hair and you get it and it's not. I tried to color it and it like literally melts off. You know what I mean? They might have some human hair mix into it, but
Mm.
um, might have a human synthetic, but because you're ordering it from overseas, like you're not going to send it back. Like it's just you got scammed, or they'll tell you you're getting 4 pieces and they send one, and then like the website disappears.
Oh wow! So you experienced this quite a few times.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people in the hair world that do wigs, like they don't like sharing where their supply is from because they don't
understandable.
want people doing it. Or I don't know, like I just don't understand how somebody would not want this out there. You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, it's very expensive. Like quality human hair that you get that is virgin that you can color is very expensive. It's an
What are we
investment.
talking about?
Okay, so like this, I would like this, I would sell for $1,000.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. But
And that's colored and cut, or
this is colored and like I cut it. I would sell it for like $1,000.
okay. Got
But
it.
I have shorter hair. Most of our clients don't. They're 22 inches. They want long blonde hair. Like some of my pieces go for $2,000, $2,500.
Okay. Okay.
But they're custom colored.
Right, right. Of course.
They are like, I've colored them like I would, I always ask people, what's your dream hair? Send me a picture. So what I'll do is I'll get this piece, whatever inches that they want. Most of the time it's about 18 to 20, and that's like the average. And I'll give them that icy blonde color, or I'll give them that blonde they could never have, because their regular hair wouldn't be able to take that. And not even with the safest colorist doing it.
Are you helping people decide? So your business started off with you coloring other people's wigs, and now, and just correct, like add and take away, correct where as necessary. So, and now you're having people buy the wigs from you, and you color them and you cut them because you found a reliable source.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And what just real quick, I just curious, like what is an example of one of the like horror stories with like your during the sourcing and figuring this price? It seems like that's the biggest hurdle in the business.
So I ordered this wig for myself, and it was a black bob, right? And it, like, I wear my hair with like just like a little soft side bang. I'm 37. I still do the side part. I'm gonna rock it forever. Okay, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I ordered this wig. I got it. I wish I would have brought it downstairs with me. It looks like a mullet from Party City.
Like something you wear for your Halloween costume.
It was $900.
Whoa. Wow. So, and then where was this wig from?
I ordered it from. I ordered it from a regular wig company.
Oh, so this isn't one of these like scammers. This is just like run of the mill. This is what to expect if you're someone looking into it as a customer. You're going to probably
you have to do your homework, and you have to research. But this on that end of the supply chain. So I went with this one company, right? I spent, I think, probably like $4,000, and I ordered, like, I'm like so excited because I got all the colors that I wanted that I could play with, and that I was going to have like this amazing stock and make these custom things, right? I open the box, all the pieces are there. I start to color them, and they're not taking the color right. I started to I put them all on like styrofoam heads, and I started putting foils in all of them, like just like an assembly line. And I take the foils out. Some of the hair came out in the foil. Some of them, so now they're destroyed. Some of them turned purple from some kind of coating that was on the hair. I rinsed one of them, and it literally just basically dreaded. I mean, $4,000 gone.
Damn. Okay.
And I went back to the supplier, and they just left me on red, ghosted my ass.
Oh wow.
And that was in China.
That was an overseas. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Well. Wow. And did you ever discover like where you get it now? Do you know like how they get it? Like, what does that mean to be responsibly sourced?
So what they do is, in some of these countries, like Vietnam, for instance, these factories will employ families or employ, like pay for these people's hair. So their job is to grow their hair.
Interesting. Okay.
So if you think Vietnamese, what is the color that comes to mind? Black, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So most of that hair comes from that part of the world. So you think of blonde hair, red hair, where do you think that comes from? Europe.
Yeah.
Ukraine, Russia.
And that's the
Slavic hair. It's called Slavic hair. Yeah. So they're paid. So these factories, they pay, and like I say, responsibly sourced, meaning like they get compensated properly.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's other companies that don't compensate like they give them pennies on the dollar because it costs so cheap to survive there. So, you know, $100 can feed this family for a year, for like a month.
Right, right.
And they just give it because these people are desperate, so they're just paying for it. So I do not.
Gotcha.
That really does happen.
Okay.
So you have to look for responsibly sourced, and that's why it's so expensive, because they pay the people properly to grow it.
Right. So I
And it
guess
has
they would
to
have to have
be
like as an employee would like have guidance and some sort of
guidelines, and
structure to
right.
it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have like, you also have um growing standards, and also that's what makes it so expensive. You know what I mean? Like it also takes time. I'm so sorry. It also takes time for them to source it. So think of one person growing their hair,
Yeah, it takes forever.
but then it has to be chemically treated.
Right.
It has to be sanitized and chemically treated. So with that being said, it has to be chemically treated, sanitized, packaged, all this stuff, weighed, because you know what I mean? You don't you buy it by, it has to be sized, it has to be sewn on a cap. Like there's a process here.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like $1,000 is actually probably a decent deal, and especially considering the amount of time and energy and money you put into getting
Oh,
this thing up and going.
it took probably a good 6 months before I even saw a fraction of a profit. Not to mention all of the good hair that I did get that I destroyed coloring it wrong.
Right. So you're talking about $6,000 to $10,000 maybe
Yeah.
plus 6 months worth of work. And
I mean,
all right.
I've lost nights over like coloring a wig. You know what I mean? Like not getting that perfect tone, or not being able to deliver. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing, we're dealing normally with emotional clients, because like people are emotional about their hair. We know that.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with this, it's a different kind of pressure, because this person is counting on you to make them feel how they used to. We're not
Right.
trying to deliver new results. We're not trying to make them look different. We're trying to make them look the same,
Right.
of how they remember themselves feeling great.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Do you ever hear that person like sitting in your chair and they're like, "Oh, my hair used to be like this."
Who hasn't?
Right.
Like, yeah,
So
totally.
now I'm trying to replicate that.
Yeah. That's like, oof, that
So I'm
sounds.
looking at pictures from when they were 6.
Oh, yeah. Cause that's what their hair. Yeah. Well, I guess if it's a wig, it's,
You know
geez.
what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
trying to
That sounds
match.
like a lot of pressure.
You're right. I'm trying to match density. So then I get the wig. It looks like the cousin it when you get it. So then the cut comes in. That haircut, I could cut that thing 6 times before it's right. Like I honestly am raising my price on cutting the wig, because it needs to go to way more than my regular human haircut, because cutting wigs is a whole other different ball game,
I imagine that.
because you get one chance.
Yeah.
You cut that bang, it's over.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And then what do you got to do? You got to replace the wig if you screw it up. So the risk and of the extra capital has to be considered. Wow.
Right. Like you're in it. Like, what are you gonna do with that wig? Yeah, maybe you could turn around and sell it, but maybe not. And you're gonna have this piece that you already screwed up. You know what I mean?
Unless it's like bangs like on like.
Yeah. You never
Yeah.
know. But again, like I always like to carry, so what I like to do is I carry stock pieces in like a blonde, and then I carry stock pieces in a brown. So I know with the browns that I know that I have, I can lift to like a sun-kissed warm balayage. With the blondes, I low light and root and bring down. So if it's already blonde, I don't have to lighten it, because
Gotcha.
bleach, whether it's still hair. Like if you can't beat it up.
Right. It sounds like you're laying out the ground floor for doing education on wigs. Have you thought about that?
I actually did my first class in Boston about a month ago.
Nice. So you were teaching hairdressers how to cut and color wigs and stuff?
Yep. I went to a salon in Boston, Massachusetts, and I had them purchase a wig. I explained to them like how to, like, where to get it. They had the wig there. They asked me what I used to color, and that's actually how I fell back in love with Redken again. Was I started using the gels on these wigs.
Okay.
That's what works because of the consistency. And I fell in love with the company, and that's a whole other story. But I taught them how to get it, treat it when they get it out, clarify a certain way, how to market it, how to low light it, how to section it, how to work with it. We went through all the things, and it was an amazing class, and they're able now to offer that to their clients.
Well, this sounds like quite a robust portfolio of businesses and work and effort and impact, and sounds very exciting. Well, if anybody is interested in knowing more about Wigs, is it cool that they what's the best way to reach out to you? If
my Instagram, it's hair by Dom D. If you go to Wig Life, there's a bunch of highlights in there. I do have a YouTube channel, which I haven't been really great with, but actually that YouTube actually explains my struggle with hair loss, and it actually tells the whole story and how to put on a wig and how to secure it, a topper anyway, because I wear both. But then if you go on to, once you go to the Instagram, you'll find everything. The TikToks are there, all that kind of stuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to, ask, and I'm definitely going to help you. More people in this industry need to touch on this demographic.
100%.
Most hair loss clients don't even go to the salon because they're so embarrassed.
And something that all you viewers should think about when you're wondering, do I really need to know this? If you don't have a clientele that is older, you might have only come across this a little bit, but baby boomers are growing older, and there's data showing that they spend a lot more money than any other generation on anti-aging everything. And so there's a lot more people. There's a huge percentage of the population that is going through these phases, not to mention the people who are not in those phases, and who are probably going to be the most emotional about this as well. So having this in your, at least knowing you, I can now I can just I guess I could refer, if I only have one or two, I could just maybe refer them to you.
And I'd be happy to help them. Another thing too is, baby boomers aside, we are in a health, we have people that have COVID hair loss, and it's it's coming. Yeah. And these people are not baby boomers. These people are 25 years old. We have more people with autoimmune diseases than we've ever had. People who are dealing with, just to name ones that off the top of my head, we have Lyme disease, we have polycystic ovarian syndrome, we have Hashimoto's, thyroid disorders for women. People who have had hysterectomies are losing their hair, menopause, premenopausal, women who are hitting menopause at 35. So these things are all happening to our generation at a fast rate, and hair loss is usually the first inclination that there's something off. So if you have clients in your chair and you're noticing from touch up to touch up that they're getting thinner and thinner, I'm not telling you to diagnose them, but I am telling you to tell them to go get some blood work done. Yeah, that's good. Refer them to somebody. That's good. You know what else is also something you were making me think of when you were saying this? So all those plus we're in a super for those of you who some people may or may not believe in this, but mental health challenges and stress and anxiety are at astronomically high levels, and that definitely has an impact on people's hair. If you've had a client that has gone through a traumatic divorce, check her hairline. I'm telling you, because some people will attack, people who suffer from a mental disorder called trichomania. It's where they pull out their hair, they pull out their eyelashes, they pull out their eyebrows. I have 3 clients that I've put in toppers and wigs, one being 13 years old who deals with that. Wow. So they're out there. They're not coming into salons because they're petrified. They've been embarrassed. They are cutting their own hair. They don't want to be exposed in front of anybody. In my new space, I'm actually building an area for women or hair loss clients who don't want to be in front of anyone. Smart. I like that. So I can give them that privacy and that disclosure. Yeah. Because I will tell you right now, there are some people that I do not take my wig off in front of.
Yeah, I mean, makes total sense.
One of them is my husband.
Oh yeah.
I can't do it.
Okay. Well, that's huge, actually. Well, all of you, anybody watching this and or listening, if you have any customers that are experiencing hair loss, or you're just basically interested in getting into wigs, or maybe you just realize that this is an area that you don't really know anything about, now you have a resource. Dominique is more than happy to help you out and point you in the right direction, or even potentially even do some training for you.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed learning about the wig industry and your personal story as your journey through this. And I believe that I definitely learned some things, and so I hope that everybody else did. And again, feel free to reach out to her. You can reach out to us, and we can direct you to her. So thanks again, Dominique.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming, and I hope to have you on again soon.
Me too.
All right. Take care.
Bye.